I have to take off my reading glasses. Angelina, and I'm gonna do a one card, pick a card reading. Gosh, I have to think that it's been so long, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. It just, life goes the way it goes, and February started, and then we had Imbolc, right? The first, 2nd of February. And with that, we had these different energies coming in after winter in the Northern Hemisphere, that is. And so much fire and inspiration. And I got such a drive to create and to paint. I have been painting basically non-stop every single day. And in February, it was crazy. And for some reason or other, it physically worked as well, because if you've been following me, you know I have a neck problem and a head injury and all that stuff. And I can't usually paint for hours on end, but I've painted so much and it just worked out. And at the moment, it's sort of slowing down a little bit. If people are interested and you can ask for that or tell me in the comments, I can show the paintings that I've done. If you're interested in that, there's a variety of things, really, fantasy stuff and goddesses and Viking ship and Lord knows what, all kinds of different things. Just amazing. I was so happy. And last night I was in bed, and currently the energies are shifting again. Very, very powerful energies whizzing around at the moment. I don't know if you felt them. I certainly have. It's amazing. And of course we have tomorrow the equinox, which is this time very powerful from what I've understood. And on top of that, we have a new moon, and we have the 23rd, so that's also upon us. Pluto moves into Aquarius. So it goes from very patriarchal Capricorn into Aquarius. And this is going to be a tremendous shift on the entire planet. It's massive. And all these energies that are now building up is like, whoa, it's amazing. I can feel it physically. And the last couple of days I've also been quite tired. Really, not really having energy, that bubbly and creative vibe of February had gone, I was just like, well, my body was achy and my joints and ligaments, and I was just tired. My body was tired. I didn't have a lot of energy. But anyhow, last night I was in bed. I couldn't sleep. It was so annoying. My tinnitus was insane for the first time ever, I think. It was seriously insane. It's never been that bad ever. And I've had it for 12 years, so I know how bad it can be. But last night was horrible. And I was still awake at 3 o'clock, and I was so tired. Anyhow, all of a sudden I thought of a card reading, and so I knew I had to do a reading right now. I have to. That's intuition, right? And I thought of this particular card, of this deck. This is the, oh my God, Goddesses and Sirens from Stacey DeMarco. And this card is what I thought of. I saw it in my mind. Pomona. And so I just got a deck, and I thought, okay, I can do Pomona as a choice for the pick a card, but that didn't feel right. It feels that this is actually a message for everyone. I'm so sorry, my throat chakra. The reading I'm going to do is what you will need to focus on, what you will need to now start, create, draw into your life, call into your life with these new energies, with these shifts, because we really are entering a new time with all these things that are going on right now, with the equinox especially, and the also the transition from Pluto into Aquarius. And Pluto will remain in a sign, always does, for some 15 to 20 years, meaning and Pluto is the planet of transformation. There can be rebirth, which is basically letting go of the old. So it can be death, right? A figure of speech, death, and a rebirth. And but like all transformations and changes, that is chaos. So it can be really quite chaotic, especially in the very first beginning, when we move out of this structured position of Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn is very patriarchal, masculine energy, and patriarchal is usually very imbalanced masculine energy, right? Power and oppression and money and status and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't have to be, but that's how it turned out to be. And we're leaving that behind and then moving into Aquarius, which is also Aquarius, is about oneness, togetherness, freedom. And I mean, try to tie an Aquarius down, you know, they are free spirited, and it's about love and oneness. And that can also, again, then be, come with, a bit of a rebel thing, right? Because change isn't always easy, usually isn't for mankind. It's easier for us to latch on to what is and than to embrace the new. Anyhow, so that's a lot of information, and I will put timestamps in so people who do not wish to listen to all that, they can go straight to the reading, and you know. But I do want to share that because this is also very important, you know. And I feel that with all this stuff that's coming up now for us, this change, all this transition and energy, Pomona is the general message. And Pomona was a goddess who lived in a garden. She had a beautiful garden and she took care of that. She loved it. She loved everything that lived in a garden. Animals, birds, insects, and the plants and the trees and the herbs. And she took such good care of everything, loving everything. And nothing withered or rotted or in her garden. Everything flourished and bloomed and lived so happily. And you know, because she took such good care of it all. And but she was also she was a nymph. She was also very beautiful and attractive, and many men wanted her, but she kept them out of her garden. There was a huge fence around her garden, so no one could come in. And so most men then gave up, except for one. At some point there was one, and he fell madly in love with her, and he really, really wanted her. Now, he could shapeshift, he was a god, and using his shape-shifting abilities, he turned himself into something so that he could enter the garden and to observe her and to learn more about her. And he found out that way that she actually repelled men, right? Rejected men. Because she feared that if she allowed a man into her life as a partner, that she would have to leave her garden. So she was actually afraid of change then, right? Of opening up and letting something new into her life and trusting that it would work out and that it would actually be better, even better than it already was. And but she did that anyway because, well, he basically managed to wangle his way into the garden. And He convinced her that they would stay there together, and they did. So they fell in love. She fell in love with him as well, and he stayed in the garden with her. They took care of it together, and it grew into an even more beautiful, fruitful garden. And the message is then for everyone, this message, what I already said just now: dare to open up, to let something new into your life, and to take that risk, right? Because yes, it can, go wrong, right? And not work out, but you won't know if you don't give it a try. So if you don't, I'm so sorry, I don't know. So if you don't know, you will not know unless you open up, unless you just decide to just go for it. And that's also with wanting a love relationship. Now this is not just about love, but let's take love, because that's something that's usually very important for everyone. If you wish to have a healthy love relationship, you also have to do the same thing. You have to open your heart. You have to dare take the risk to get hurt. So you have to open your heart and to venture out there with an open heart, completely vulnerable, trusting on your own judgment and discernment and inner strength. And to cut it off, even if it's not good for you. You have your intuition for that. But to still do that, to still dare take that risk, because if you do not dare to take the risk and open your heart, you can't get love. You can't get true, healthy love and a loving relationship if you don't have your heart open. It doesn't work. And your intuition can't work properly either if your heart is closed or semi-closed, and when you're afraid, because then you can't feel properly like this is good for me or this does not serve me. So I best not, get involved with that person, or I shouldn't go there because that's not going to do me much good. Right? It's best to have your heart open. You're stronger. How oddly it may sound, you are stronger when you have your heart open, because then you can feel what's good for you and what isn't, and who is and who isn't. Anyhow, that is the message for everyone. Dare to do that. Dare to leave your comfort zone. Dare to venture out there. Dare to open up so you can allow new things in. Right? You still have a say. Like Pomona feared that she would have to leave her garden. Why? You still have control. You have a say in your life. If you don't want something, if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't make you happy, if it isn't for your highest good, well, then you don't do it. Simple as that. It's not like you suddenly have to do stuff because you open up. That's bullshit. And also the message at the same time, it goes hand in hand in a way. Pomona pruned things in a garden so it would grow better, right? Sometimes you have to prune a branch of a bush or a tree so the tree has more energy to grow more fruit, or to grow in another direction, which is more beneficial for the tree or the bush, right? Or to allow more light through by cutting away that branch from that tree, that there's more light for a bush that grows below it. So the message is also that sometimes you have to prune things from your life or people to make it healthier, more sustainable, right? So that's the general message for everyone. Now we're going into the pick a card reading, also using cards from the same deck. For that, 3 choices. I'm going to show you crystals because I am doing it like this and not with my usual setup with the plank. I cannot show you all 3 crystals in one go. Also not because I chose larger crystals, so please pay attention. And again, you can use the timestamps to go back otherwise, right? This is for the numbers 1. This is a blue-green fluorite, and blue fluorite is quite rare, and this is from Namibia in Africa. Beautiful piece. That's numbers 1. If that's not your thing, numbers 2. This is a fairy dream crystal with chalcedony and jasper and crystals and all that kind of stuff in it. Beautiful thing, beautiful piece. I personally love this. I hope you can see it. That's numbers 2. And for the numbers 3, another beautiful one is my green jade from Pakistan. Beautiful green. So that's numbers 3. Now, if you make your choice, then I will meet you at your reading from your choice, of course. See you there. Right, if you chose this crystal, the fluorite, you're number 1. And then your card is the Kuan Yin card, Compassion. And she is often called the female Buddha, the goddess of mercy and love. And often also called the Chinese version of Mother Mary. Very similar energy. It's not the same. It does feel entirely different to me when I tune into it, but it's similar. It's right because of the love. The message for you is to be compassionate and kind and loving, like Kuan Yin is. But then there is this but. Many people try to be that way, and then they focus that on other people. But true compassion and kindness and love for all that is and comes from an open heart to begin with, which goes back to the Pomona message. But it's also, first you have to be compassionate and kind and loving of yourself. Otherwise you can't be truly compassionate for other people, because then it's not pure. Then usually it's based on need, a kind of needy more. It's not pure. If it pure kindness and compassion automatically wells up when you have these feelings for yourself. So the message mostly for you is to have compassion for yourself, to accept yourself as you are. You know, flaws and all. There's nothing wrong with having flaws. We all have flaws, and it's okay. But still accept yourself completely and love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself very harshly. Don't expect so much from yourself. Maybe you have really high expectations that you always have to do things perfectly, and you beat yourself up when you failed at that. Well, be done with that. Start being kind to yourself. Be loving and think and speak lovingly about yourself. Start heeding your thoughts, your own thoughts about you. Often our inner self-talk about ourselves that goes on all day long. We have tens of thousands of thoughts a day, and much of that is about us, you know, self-talk, inner self-talk, and usually that's very negative. Even when we think it's funny, it's hilarious, it's sarcastic, actually it's negative, and you're knocking yourself. So start hating these things, and if you notice that you do that, and I think most people actually do, start to change that. Start to think lovingly about yourself. Be kind about yourself, right? And start to accept yourself. That will then happen as well. So that is your message. And then the compassion and love and kindness that is aimed at the outer world will then follow suit automatically. You know, you can't be different if you feel that way completely on the inside for yourself. It just happens by itself. So that is your message for the coming time to, busy yourself with, to focus on. Thank you, and see you again next time, hopefully. And have a wonderful Ostara and all the energies, and I hope they are easy for you. Numbers 2, if you chose this crystal, the Fairy Dream, then your card is Hera. Commitment. Hera was the wife of Zeus, and Hera was a very loyal wife. And unfortunately, her husband Zeus wasn't all that loyal, and he had many intermezzos with other females and children with him as well. And Hera, of course, didn't really like that. What woman would, right? And so she's partially known for jealousy. Actually, that's not what I always learned and heard from her, but apparently that's what she's also known for. And she did curse and etc. The women that her husband slept with and had children with, and to harm them. She hated them. She was jealous of them and angry with them, not with her husband. And that, I do feel, is a bit of a message. It doesn't, there is going to be more, so please don't go, because you may be thinking, now this is not for me. This is not for everyone. This is for part of this group. There is more, so please wait. So part of the message is to, if you have something like that, it can be in a love relationship, it can also be at work or with friends, or any situation where you feel that your loyalty isn't seen, respected, your boundaries are being, don't aim your anger or hate or jealousy, envy, whatever it is, negativity, let's call it that, at people who actually aren't the cause of it. Because that's not helpful. It's not productive. It's not productive anyway to have any feelings of negativity. It's only gonna hurt you. Like Zeus wasn't going to stop because his wife was jealous and upset and angry and hurt, etc. He just continued doing what he was doing. It didn't work, right? And the only one who was hurt in that situation was Hera herself, right? She was hurt. And so that's not really the solution. That's not the way to go. The way to go, if you are in a similar situation or in any commitment anyway, is to talk to the person that is actually hurting you or upsetting you or causing something that doesn't feel good to you. And that can even be a parent, it can be a sibling, it can be a lover, it can be a friend, it can be your boss, it can be anyone, right? So if you're in that situation, then find a better way of dealing with it, a better solution to deal with it. And also, now I'm completely lost what I was going to say. Hang about. Yes, I'm so sorry about that. It's so silly. Then I get something and all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. And so I had to tune in again. It's also about letting go of something, someone, when it is really not good for you, when it doesn't serve you, and having the self-respect to do that. So it's also about being then true and committed to you. Right? And to your heart, your happiness in life. And knowing that you deserve to be treated right. That's basically one message. If that doesn't resonate at all, Hera was also at one time regarded as the great goddess. And she represented the divine feminine, which is the great goddess then, right? And so everything that comes with that can also be a message if the first one didn't resonate with you. And that goes back to knowing when to act, knowing when to wait, going with the flow, being kind, being loving, but also to yourself, right? Being kind and loving is what I said already with the first set, which was not your choice, but it doesn't mean that you just go along with everything. You also love and care about yourself. And that means that you can also then say no to other people and yes to yourself, right? That's also committing to you. So that's another message, to commit to your own happiness, to what you need in life, and make sure that you get it. You deserve to be treated well. You deserve to be loved and, be respected and valued. You don't have to put up with anything else. So also love yourself enough to dare take those decisions, to choose you. And then there is another one, and I feel that actually goes for everyone, and that is because of what happened to Hera with her husband. Basically, she stood for commitment in spite of adversity, and that's also an important one. That's also an important message, and I feel that is for everyone. So, in that sense, sometimes when you're committed to something or someone, it can be difficult. Things can get difficult, and you can then give up. It's not going to work out. It's never going to be what I want it to be, or whatever. It's not what I thought it would be. And it's also then don't give up too soon. Use your feminine intuition. Even when you're a guy, men also have intuition because they also have a part feminine energy. Use your intuition to know whether you should cut it out of your life or not. Which in a way goes back to Pomona, who did the pruning in a garden, right? Know when to prune something out of your life or someone, and when not to. Sometimes you have to just stick with it, right? And it doesn't always have to be about a person. It can be about a thing, about something you're creating, about or even something you're trying to let go of. Like, for instance, quitting smoking. If you think I can't, and I've already failed because I smoked a cigarette today and might as well go back to smoking. Well, why? That can also be something like that, right? That's also a commitment to quitting. Then don't give up when it gets difficult. Change is always a bit difficult. So there is a whole lot of messages in this card. And I always feel I have to give them all, when it feels I have to give them all, I do that. Right? So, I'm sure at least one of these will resonate with you if you chose this. Sorry it got so lengthy, but yeah, it is what it is. And thank you for watching, and happy Ostara and all that. And see you again soon. Bye. If you chose this green Jade from Pakistan, your number's 3, and your card is Pele, the goddess, the Hawaiian goddess, whose home is the volcano on Hawaii. And I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name of that volcano. Purpose is what it says on the card. And that's what she can help with. She is, of course, since she resides in that volcano, very, very active and dynamic and fiery and all about action and creation, transformation. like a volcano, and Pele with that as well, the goddess, that creates new from an eruption, right? The lava just flows usually to the sea, right? And then it hardens, it cools off. And then there's new land, very fertile land. And so there's new land created by that eruption, by that powerful, all that fire and power that comes out. And that's what she's about as well then. And that is your message too, to if you feel like you're stuck and stagnant, maybe you feel your life is not exciting, you don't know what to do, you're a bit bored, and oh, well, what should I do? Where should I go? What direction? I don't know. And then often when you feel that way, you end up just bumming around doing nothing, or doing too much of things that aren't healthy for us to do. And that's how it often goes. And but it doesn't feel good either. It doesn't feel nice. Then you can call on Pele, work with that energy, and to get her fire and sense of direction and purpose and transformation. There is this transformation as well, and that can be a bit like, oh my God, this is scary, right? But that's transformation. It's always like that because it's new, shifting out of the old into something new, and it is a bit scary. It is a leap of faith. But when you do that, you feel so alive and so powerful, and you are in control. It's not like, it's just go for it. That is your message. This is what you have to do with these shifts and these new energies that are coming in. You have to create. You have to act and do and get inspired and start following your purpose and direction in life. And again, if you don't know what that is, try to call on this goddess. She's extremely powerful. Even if you don't know her, it doesn't matter. You can still call on her and work with her and ask her to give you inspiration, to give you this compass in life, direction, to send you signs so you know what to do, signs that you understand. And it can be anything. It can be suddenly seeing the same word everywhere on the truck that drives past, on the internet, on telly, in the supermarket, or whatever, It can be in any shape or form that will resonate with you, that you will notice. You can ask for that and it will come. Just trust it and start to open up more. Your entire front side of your body energetically open up, so these energies here, all these powerful energies, can begin to move and flow, and then things will start to come into motion. Maybe also if you feel like, I don't know what to do, maybe you aren't physically very active either. If that's the case, maybe it will also help you to start becoming more active physically. And that doesn't have to mean you going to the gym every day all of a sudden and work out for an hour or 3 hours. It doesn't have to be like that. You can just decide, like, I'm gonna go for a walk, a half an hour walk every day. That's healthy for my body. Bodies are made to move, not to sit on a chair. And so just walk. Walking is great. It trains every muscle in your body. Your posture opens up when you walk. So these energies here in front of your body, the chakras, they can begin to move. And that can also be a way to get things going and to get some movement and action in your physical and energy bodies. But that's your message. You have to start creating and following your purpose and direction in life. And again, if you don't know what that is, then I just gave you some tips to help you on the way. You can also read about Pele online a bit, so then you get a better feel and understanding of her energies. That also helps. And but this is what I have for you. So wishing you a wonderful Ostara and the beginning of Pluto's shift in Aquarius. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.